Alright, well, here's the continuation of that video since I've been in a hurry to get these videos up and made and forgot to go to airplane mode, and of course got a phone call in the middle of the video, and I don't do all that cutting and editing and then professional video crap and yada yada yada, so I guess it's a part 2. But here, anyway, yeah, 1.38 is what I typed in. I got 1.375. This is showing 3.76. No biggie, same difference. I've got it to perfectly stable, which is weird because at 1.43 volts at 4.0, it just wasn't having it. It just wasn't stable. And I go to 3.9 gigahertz, 1.7 or 1.375, and it's perfectly stable. Like I say, I ran out of 64 well over an hour. I mean, I put it on there and just let it run. I actually went and ate dinner, came back. I'm not sure what kept the computer on because I got it set up to go to sleep after 30 minutes, and it didn't until like an hour and a half later. I come back in here, I think eating some kind of dessert or something, watching a movie. I look over and the computer hit shut down. I'm like, oh shit, it went to sleep. But yeah, it was well over an hour at a 64 stress test burn in. It full load over an hour. Since I got an air cooler, all that water takes a while to heat up to your maximum temperature. And I'm about to strangle me some kittens. But it takes a while. I mean, an air cooler heats right up. You hit your max temperature real quick. This air cooler, or this water cooler, all that water takes a while to warm up, so you can't see, exactly what your temps are going to be, leveled out max. So after well over an hour on out of 64, CPU at 100%, it doing its thing. Granted, it was the trial version of it, but it still had the CPU pegged 100%, 3.9 gigahertz overclocked. And this is a Ryzen 7 1700, not an X. But and it I think one of my programs said the max temp had hit 59. I think the other one said like almost 62. It actually did decimal points within the margin of error. So basically, what I've got this overclocked to, my voltage and everything, max load, well over an hour, plenty of time to saturate heat into all the water in the water cooler there. And it was about 60 C max temp, full load on 1.375 volts. Perfectly stable. I don't know why I can't get that extra 100 megahertz out of it. Apparently, no matter what voltage I put on, but that's fine. 3.9 is good. And I'm also at 2933 on the memory because for some reason it just doesn't want to hit 3200, which is weird because it's the G-Skill Flare X kit, 16 gigs, case latency 14, and it's actually running. It won't even boot at 3200. It just tries 3 to 5. Well, I've just set it to 3, but it tries to boot 5 times and then reverts to stock and to BIOS. But 2933 is good for the gaming I'm doing. I'm not going to notice that difference. Not with the overclocked 8-core, 16-thread CPU, and that monster right there. Yeah, I don't even need the aggravation of trying to hit 3200. I'm not a content creator. I do not have in and out cards on here capturing shit on my computer. This is going to be games and movies only. So I'm sure they'll roll out some BIOS here before long that will allow everything just to fall right into place at 3200. So far it hasn't. I have updated this board to the latest BIOS. That was the first thing I did once I put it in the case and put power to it, was use my laptop and a flash drive, download the BIOS, the newest one, and use the M-Flash in the BIOS menu to actually flash the BIOS to the latest one before I tried to overclock or do anything. And like I say, it just doesn't want to go 3200 on the memory. At least not yet. I probably could go in there and tweak around. I've watched some other videos of going in there and messing with all the settings and the timings, and I honestly, just for the aggravation, really don't care. It's not going to give me that much more performance. And right now, it's actually 2933 megahertz. It's actually running at the clocks it's supposed to, 14, 14, 14, 34. Command rates 1T. So, I mean, it's doing its thing. It's just not at 3200. And it's not a big enough difference for me to sweat balls over it. It's not. And if you hear rumbling, it's getting ready to storm here. So, you probably can hear thunder in the background. It's just another thing which sucks because I don't have this. I just have this plugged into a extension cord that comes out from underneath the couch, and just like my little testing area here. All these other computers, you can't see it down there, but that's a battery backup, and got another battery backup over there for that side. And for that computer, there's a big ass battery backup. You can just see the top of it over there. So surge protection battery backup on all my junk, because I've got quite a bit of work hours into all my electronics, and you at least should surge protect your stuff. I mean, electronics ain't cheap, so at least surge protect them. Which the TV, the Xbox, and computer are all on battery backup, but that, of course, the stereo, the receiver there, and the subwoofer amp and other things are just on surge protection. I actually have my routers on battery backup too, so technically, if the power goes out and I really need connection, I've got it. I actually have, let's see, I've got 4 routers in the house now. We're in a bigger house than St. Augustine, so I've got the main stuff in my room, which is behind this wall right here. There's a hole in the wall right there, goes through into my room, around the wall to my main router. It comes in Comcast modem. I've got my own Comcast modem too in there. To the modem, to that router. Out of that router to a 8-port network switch, which connects to all my crap in there. Comes through the wall to here, and then from this one connects over to that one, which has my, you can barely see it right there, the antenna way up there. That one is kind of the one that reaches outside. It's only 2.4 gigahertz band. This one does 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, but you can, a gnat could fart and blow the 5 gigahertz signal away. It's just not, it doesn't, transmit as well as 2.4. The router in my room's 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, both the same DIR. 825. That's a DIR 655 in extreme Wi-Fi. Those 655s are tough. They're, like I say, they're only 2.4, 3 antennas, but they're tough, man. I bought them used on eBay. I got them a box full of them years ago and never had an issue. I got the newer 5 gigahertz band routers mainly because I could flash them with custom firmware, and that I flashed them back to stock because they were kind of buggy with the firmware. Plus, they are known for the LAN ports going bad on them, and yes, I've had one crap out. I got 3 of them, the 825s, and in the process of setting everything up, one of them just, when I rebooted it, it came back up and the LAN ports didn't work anymore. So that went, actually it was that one over there, and now that's back to the old school one because it freaking works and has no trouble. But that's my RYZEN build so far. When I get it done, as in done, where I've got the glass back on it, I'll shoot another video. Because like I say, I'm gonna get a couple more of the Corsair fans, put them up top. May or may not leave the AMD fan back there. And then, well, as far as fan, that's probably why it's running good and cool. I mean, that Corsair cooler is great, you know, even just with the 2 fans on it. But since I have it in push-pull, that radiator is not suffering one little bit from airflow. I mean, even under a load, it never got warm enough to put the fans up past 50%, moving all that air through it. So no starvation there for cooling. So basically those keep the CPU cool. That one down there, I actually set a fan curve a little bit to run a little bit higher RPM all the time, just so it can, you know, it's bringing in all the fresh cool air, not through a radiator. So it'll help keep the GPU cool. I think since the top has a magnetic dust shield, which is very nice, case manufacturers, thank you for doing that. The dust cover on the top means I'm probably going to set the 2 fans on top as intake and basically just have vents and 1 fan for exhaust. I'm going to aim for positive air pressure, hopefully help keep dust out of it. It's got, you know, plenty of vents in the back, plus, you know, an exhaust fan to let the air out. It'll have so much air coming in that it'll pressurize it out. So that's my aim. That's my videos. This is the second video since, like I say, I got the call in the middle of the other one. I'll get them uploaded, and yeah, everybody have a wonderful day, time, whatever it is, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I will upload some more here, hopefully in the near future. I do work a lot, so it doesn't happen a whole lot anymore. Yeah, y'all enjoy, and I will see you in the next video, I guess. So have a good one.